Right, lads, what's going on? Today I have a video ranting about these terrible FIFA 21 ratings. As we all know, EA are known to be terrible at giving fair ratings for players. I think this year has to be by far the worst we've ever had. Coming in at number 1, we have one you probably wouldn't expect, but one that's important still. Peter Gulacsi. He has been consistently the best keeper in the Bundesliga over the last 3 seasons. And I don't know how he hasn't gotten an upgrade. In fact, his card has been downgraded. He has 1 less handling than he did last year. And what makes it worse is the fact that he's now been overtaken by Jan Sommer, who is definitely not as good or consistent as Peter Gulacsi. The second player we'll be looking at today is Serge Aurier. Can't pronounce for crap. Oh well. Anyways, that's besides the point. The Spurs right back has had a horrific season once again, and he has somehow gotten an upgrade. Every single game he's played, he defended like a headless chicken on acid. It was like he was being controlled by an 8-year-old kid on FIFA. It was terrible. How on earth has he gotten an upgrade is beyond me. Moving on from the Spurs right back, we have David Alaba. Alaba has been one of the best center backs in Europe in the last season, despite the fact that he's only started playing there once Lucas Hernandez and Nicolas Zula got injured. He's been playing as a center back for 7 months or so, and he's been phenomenal in every single game. All you have to do is look at how important he is to the Bayern possession, and how important he is for allowing Alphonso Davies to thrive, to know how good he is. And he's somehow gotten a downgrade. This is one of the worst ratings this year, simply because every single person was expecting Alaba to be an 86 or 87 rated center back. The weirdest part about this is that his card has actually gotten an upgrade apart from pace, which got slaughtered. Moving on to his Bayern teammate, who's been equally, if not more important to their success, is the one and only Thomas Müller. Müller has been one of the best players in Europe, full stop, this season. He's broken Kevin De Bruyne's assist record. He's done everything you'd want your creative midfielder to do. He's gotten, 21, 22 assists, 27, 28 in all competitions, and yet he's somehow stayed the same rating. He's been 86 rated for, I swear, about 8 years in a row, and he's been underrated in every single one. Not the most conventional, but he's the most effective player in Europe this season, and the main reason Lewandowski scored 50-something goals this season. Moving over to Manchester now, and we have Paul Pogba. Pogba's rating's the case of EA just being completely inconsistent with how they decide these things. He was injured for the large majority of the season. Usually when that happens, they tend to keep their rating, maybe -1 with a couple stat changes. But no, Pogba's been minus by 2. Which is insanity because Laporte was injured for basically the exact same amount of time and kept his rating. He was phenomenal when he played with Bruno when the restart came back. It's just outrageous that he's been downgraded by not 1 but 2. Moving on now to what I think is the worst rating this year, it's Thiago. He had one of the best seasons from a midfielder in the last 3 years. He should have been 89 rated, and he somehow is less rated than Jordan Henderson. That's all you have to say about this. He's the same rating as Wijnaldum. He has more talent in his left testicle than Wijnaldum has in his whole body. Moving on to one I haven't seen much talk about, it's Josip Ilicic. He was incredible before the restart, and then when it came back, he had some personal problems off the pitch. Something about his wife or something like that. Anyway, that's besides the point. His performances were amazing. They were impeccable. Just go look at the second leg against Valencia when he smashed 4 at the Mestalla. He's criminally underrated by people outside of Italy. He should have been 87, 88 rated, and there's no way you can tell me with a straight face that Roberto Firmino is better than Ilicic in 2020. Staying in Italy, but moving to the capital, we have Luis Alberto. Many people only talked about Immobile this season, but Alberto was the one pulling the strings behind him, allowing him to flourish. He had, 18, 19 assists? He had an insane year, and he's only been upgraded by 1. Once again, he's the same rating as Wijnaldum. That makes no sense. He deserved at least an 86, most likely deserved an 87, along with Ilicic. But once again, just one of those guys who's criminally underrated because he doesn't play in the Premier League. Going back to Germany, and we have their star winger of the last season, Serge Gnabry. So many things is wrong with this card, it's insane. I know they haven't been upgraded as much as they should have because of the contract with Pez, but still, the fact that Gnabry lost, 8-9 pace, did he lose a leg? No. He's still one of the fastest players in the Bundesliga. He scored 20 plus goals, another 10 plus assists. Statistically, more goal contributions per minute than Robin in their last treble-winning season. And the fact that he has less pace than Immobile, same thing as Sancho, it's insane. What have the Bayern people done to EA to shaft them on ratings time and time again? Moving back to England, and now we have the star striker from Gabon. It's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He once again had a phenomenal season, scoring 22 goals in the league again, the same as in 18-19, for a worse Arsenal side, yet for some reason he got downgraded. Scored in big games including the Community Shield, FA Cup semi-final, and FA Cup final, pretty much winning them the cup single-handedly, and yet he somehow got downgraded. And yet he's somehow 2 ratings less than Benzema? In what world does that make sense? Moving on to the last player, it's Timo Werner. The reason this makes no sense, it's pretty self-obvious. 34 goals in a single season for Leipzig, and yet he somehow got downgraded from an 86 to an 85. Is there anything else you can say about that apart from that's just insanity? It's not even as if they don't pay attention to the Bundesliga or don't rate it. Lewandowski got a +2. It just makes no sense. Normally players are supposed to get upgraded when they make the move to the Prem. So that concludes my 11 worst ratings for this year's game, in my humble opinion. There are some others that nearly made it, such as Ronaldo's physical being terrible, or Mane being the same as Salah, or even Neymar's downgrade, but I wanted to focus on some of the less covered ones, such as Alberto or Ilicic. This year's really cakes the tape for the worst ratings ever. That being said, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe, share with a friend, and as always, take care.